Turn off for me, can't swim. If you can't swim, honey, I mean, the earth is 80% water. So if there's, if there's a tsunami and so you trying to get on my back, bye, bitch. I'm doing me. I'm doing me. You know what I'm saying? I ain't your floaty. I ain't nobody floaty. Turn off for me, can't swim.
Wait, all right. I thought that'd be a funny way to start the show. We got a 1. We got a 2. We got a 3 tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Which I think I gotta fix the third mic. We might be
you didn't kill me
echoing,
again,
but we got an all right.
All right.
All right, yeah, we gotta fix Dieter's mic here.
Please
so
don't.
deal with the echo for a few moments here, folks.
We're going all out. And
how do we kill this here? Hold on. Hold on. I can't do too many things at once, but I can do a few. If I turn this down, I think that's better. All right. So that means it's a time for the welcome back to the Truther Cast, home of the Truther Cast. We are here to take your truth order. And although the show might be slightly jank because we run the whole thing ourselves here, where I'm the producer and the guy that makes all the BS, we're just, looking to help you out and, tell you about all the kind of information going on through, last past week. So if you're not familiar, stay tuned. Thanks for stopping on in. We're going to check out, the information that the mainstream news media may not kind of be telling you about, or they might be, straight up lying to you or something like that,
They like lying to you and making up all kinds of funky stories these days.
All kinds of crazy, misleading shit, folks. But there's a lot of good news for the, American movement, the Donald Trump administration this week. And I'd love to hear your thoughts in the live chat down below. So if you were a frequent flyer here at the old Truther Cast, make sure to, put that truth order down there in that live chat and hang out with us, man. If you don't have an account yet and you can't live chat, just make a Rumble account. It's not so bad. They're the competitor to YouTube, and they're all about, pro freedom of speech, and they were a bastion during the whole mega censorship movement for people wanting to, tell the truth. So they still are out there helping people tell the darn truth. They've got a new thing where they're kind of doing like the traditional thing where they're like, they got like a rolling kind of news feed now where there's like one show, another show, Steven Crowder, Tim Pool, Russell Brand,
also
quartering
into another
one year after another. Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
Like a channel, like
yeah.
like TV or some shit. But it's going to be your TV, alternate news feed, which is pretty cool. So make sure to make a Rumble account. You should be able to just hit like sign in, or maybe hit the thumbs up and it'll ask you to sign in. But I recommend just using your Google account if you got one, because then it's nice and easy peasy, because you just log right in with your Google account and then you don't got to remember another username and password. So make sure to make that Rumble account if you ain't yet. Hang out with us in that live chat down below. If you're watching back, drop a comment, man. But what's going on with y'all?
It's good. Beautiful day out. Another 75, 80 degree weather today, Can't beat it.
Heck yeah.
You know?
Weather's finally tuning up around here, man. We're coming out of the Midwest, like an hour out from Chicago and Rockford, if you're familiar. Where are y'all from, man? Drop that one down below.
Yeah, there we go. We'd like to see anybody out of towners, and not everybody from around here. We like a little bit of everybody, so.
Hopefully some out of the countries.
Oh.
Some real DEI.
No.
Yeah.
Some actual DEIs.
Yeah. All right.
Very good.
Oh, man. But, yeah, if you'd like to support the show, make sure to just, come on back, hang out here, share the show to a friend, because we're going to be showing you all sorts of receipts, because the locals community is where it's at, folks. It's where all the receipts are. You can get there by just hitting the link in the description box down below, that locals.massdash.com. It's, semi-private, like you can get in here for free and look around and stuff, but what it is it's a non-big tech censored community where we can hang out and talk about these, truth factoids and not be big tech censored. So you should definitely join us in here. We'll be going through all of these, but it's a really nice place where you can just come in and you can do an uncensored search for some kind of a topic and then pull up those receipts when you're talking with somebody, man. Maybe it's a friend, family, foe, whatnot. We got one from Dano right here.
Yeah, I think I actually got a couple in this week.
Yeah,
I try to do it in the morning. That's like the only time I'm actually able to. I'm sitting there and able to get it posted.
You mess around.
Other than that, I'm running and gunning all day long.
Yeah,
I don't have enough multitasking power. I don't have enough pentiums to get it going while I'm out doing my other stuff.
Most def.
Yeah, you come across something any time during the day, and you never know. Oh, maybe the people like that one right there.
Yeah, shout out to Weird Al, all the Pentiums, baby.
That was a good one, bro. I love that track.
Oh man, just Weird Al's whole album of that. Well, a couple albums back then. Where is he nowadays? That's what I want to know. He's probably off, just retired, living life on the beach. The
internet kind of ruined his gig because it just turned into what he was doing. So, like, everybody on YouTube's TikTok.
Yeah, he was like the original first one.
Shit, he should have somehow copyright patented all that so he could be making buku bucks off it, because he started that trend for sure.
I agree.
He basically started the whole internet fad of just making fun of
people and stuff like that. Oh, yeah.
White and nerdy.
That was a classic.
That Pentium song
that was my favorite.
that Pentium song is actually like incredibly good. I pulled that up for people where I'm like, man, did you know Weird Al was actually banger at writing? Because this song actually goes hard, bro. It's like, what you want to be? Want to be a hacker, code cracker, yacker, hanging out with Hewlett Packard?
Oh, shit.
It's like I hang out with Bill Gates. I call him money for short.
Oh yeah, dude, all of this stuff.
That's pretty banger, bro. He went hard on that one.
It was just impressive that he actually wrote his own stuff too.
I believe so, yeah.
Well, like, I believe he did. Yeah, I guess I don't know that for a fact, but it sure seems like his shtick. You know, the way he acts and everything definitely seems like he was doing the writing on that.
He's shooting straight off the mind and just
Dude,
You know, whatever comes up there first, he just makes it and just goes with it.
yeah,
Man.
the Santa with the reindeer one, that was one of my favorites there for a while. That was a really good one.
What's
But-
that one?
Oh, he basically, it's something like he's acting like he's Santa and he's just talking shit about all his reindeer. They're like all crazy. Just,
Oh yeah, I remember that one. Yeah.
But Albuquerque always will be the firest and most classic of his. And I used to have that whole thing memorized, which people are like, oh, 3.5 minutes, that's a long song. Like, you don't understand. There was this song called Albuquerque, and it was I think it was 11:52.
Yeah, that one was wacko.
It was over 11 minutes long.
Man, that's even got Freebird beat then, huh?
Yeah.
That's like one of our favorite Thanksgiving Day ones was Roy Orbison, and he's just talking telling it's old country, but dong dong dong, Alice's restaurant. He's telling like a whole effing story. It's like 10 minutes or some crap, man. That's a classic.
Oh, that's good. Yeah, that's some of the. I mean, that's the best of everything. You know, when there's a good story behind it.
Hell yeah, man.
Music,
And,
movies, it's all story based.
speaking of stories, you can tell us this story.
Yeah, if I could remember what I'd have to see it to remember what it is. It's too long ago in the past. I still don't even remember.
Who's this one? Jeff Beck. No, that's the artist.
Yeah, it's
Oh yeah, they were going through some documents on how basically they were already planning COVID before it happened. More evidence
speculated
on
that, right? But we got some evidence
on the
here.
vid.
oh yeah, I seen that earlier.
Are you ready? This is 153 pages of the confidential agreement between Moderna and the U.S. government. And it goes back to 2015. Jason, what was happening in 2015?
Frankenstein coronavirus.
That's right. The same time Dr. Barrick and Dr. Shi published their paper on the new Frankenstein coronavirus. In fact, let's skip down to page 104. It shows that the NIH and Moderna were collaborating with Dr. Barrick. Wow. His signature is on page 106 of the material transfer agreement. But let's get back up to the top of this specific agreement. The NIH appears to be transferring the mRNA tech to Dr. Barrick. But look what they want to make clear. Quote, mRNA coronavirus vaccine candidates developed and jointly owned by the NIAID and Moderna. I'm sorry. I mean, I've seen ulterior motives before, but usually you see them coming. Did you know that the government co-owns the vaccine? Oh, by the way, this is not part of the Trump's thing. This is not part of that. This is 2015. The same government that is now mandating its use owns the vaccine.
You better share that one quick. Don't know how long it's going to last.
A lot of sense on the mandate even more, huh? No wonder they were making you get it. They probably had a lot of money tied up in it. They had to pay that investment off.
Well, you know, if we make the disease, then we'll feed you the cure, and then we can make our own money and, you know, backtrack it all the way again. But do you think it actually turned them into like Frankensteins? And then you get a bunch of people walk around, like zombies or something, man? I think that would be pretty funny.
I mean, the bath salt did it, so like, you know.
That's true. That's true. The bath salts in Florida and everything else they got going on was darn near crazy enough. And if you ever been up to Milwaukee, up there not that long ago, you see so many people at the gas stations walking around, and they look like zombies.
Yeah, they.
Frankensteins.
I think that's something other than a virus.
Yeah. And all that.
I mean, they both do involve syringes.
That's what we hear. Yeah, that's what we hear.
Yeah, man, some parts of Milwaukee are rough, and that's Remember when the was it a mountain lion or an actual lion that escaped the zoo and was out there wandering about some years back?
Yeah. The lion out of the broke out of the zoo or whatever.
I don't think it ate anybody. It knew. It could smell it. It was like, I don't want none of these people.
No,
if I eat one of these people, I'm gonna be screwed up, man.
Yeah,
I don't
I'll
want
get
none of
sick.
that.
Eating some of them rotten people.
Yeah.
It's gonna be no good, huh?
Yeah, not tasty.
Yeah. That
Well,
lion gonna take a sleep nap after that.
Yeah.
this Antifa protest on the college campus may not have gotten full buck wild yet, is what I was trying to say. But this does seem to be the start of the Antifa riots for the or for like the 2024 term, now 2025, right? So, I was kind of wondering, how can we stop this deep state plan to try and make Trump's plan difficult and like hurt pedestrians and yada, yada, yada. So,
Yeah.
like, how could we possibly like not allow them to have
But-
another like Summer of Love, Antifa, BLM riots kind of thing going on?
And try to get ahead of it the best you can, but they've already started it. Well, and at a bunch of these colleges already protesting and having the Palestinian people out there, and you better start arresting some of them and maybe deporting them if they're on here in visas.
Yeah.
We don't need homegrown terrorists, and if you're not an American citizen, then I mean, goodbye.
Man, most of the time it
Yeah.
sucks because those cops get direct orders from their higher ups to not even do anything, even if they see anything going on.
No.
They got to try to turn a blind eye, which is bullcrap.
But I think now they're getting away from that and starting to get rid of people because Trump ain't, all of them aren't dealing with that. And if these colleges don't get in control of that too, say goodbye to your funding because we're not going to fund that kind of behavior. And if you're not saving and protecting your students at your colleges, then we're not going to fund you.
Yeah.
I mean, it's common sense, Keep
Yeah.
control of the people or,
And
figure something out.
the best way to put the hurt on is the money. It's always the money. That's what they want the most.
Like when Hillary tried to get Trump in the taxes.
Yeah.
Didn't work out though.
Yeah. Nope. Sure didn't. Because, people just don't understand that the law is there for the rich and the business owners. It ain't for the worker bees.
I know, right? This is from our good friend Tim Pool. If you're not familiar, he's a good one to follow on at YouTube. But he was pointing out these Antifa militants over here at the University of Washington. Bonkers.
This was this last couple weeks, or this last week or whatever.
Yeah. Everything we talked about is always from just like
This last week.
after last show.
Man, I thought they were supposed to be about peace and love.
No, I didn't hear anything on this one yet. Very kidding.
Antifa rioting has begun. We're seeing protests at the University of Washington where far leftists protesting Israel nearly set fire to the entire building. They attacked police. The police were trying to negotiate, and they failed. They should know better. But the question is this a one-off, or will these protests persist into the summer? The issue, of course, for these protesters is Israel, and that's why they're trying to set fire to the University of Washington, which largely agrees with their worldview. And they even occupied a building. This is...
And like we were hoping that we are going to see less of this because we cut the funding for it through the USAID thing. But, you're still going to have like just people that actually are genuine activists that believe in this are going to do it, or maybe still some funding or something.
Yeah, some George Soros funding that pays people to go out there. I seen one thing, maybe a week or so ago, that some people are asked, "Hey, you know what you're protesting?" No, but someone gave me some money to come here, and so I'm here. And
Yeah.
I said, "Wow, these guys don't even know what they're protesting really for." But hey, for a couple bucks, I'll go stand outside, I guess.
And
Or wave a fan.
and a certain time rolls around, all of a sudden you'll notice a whole bunch of the crowd just disperses at a certain time. Like, wow, look at that. It's almost like the shift's over.
right. I've seen that one pointed out. That's pretty wild, right? Like, yeah, they're not very organic here, right?
Yeah.
Man. 'Cause there was the people that were all masked up looking like that outside of the Riley Gaines conference. They're just out there bullying this old woman with a walker. She's just walking to her car, and they're just bullying the shit out of her. And
That's petty.
yeah, the one you could tell was like a bigger black. Well, I'm not gonna assume it's gender because you could tell it was more than likely, of the male biology. Yet the voice was slurring, so it could identify as non-male biology. But I won't assume it's gender. We'll just call it an it because when your brain cells can't figure that out. Truly, I mean, what else?
What else you got left?
Yeah, you just like how we call a clump of cells like bacteria. There's not like really male and female bacteria. We just call it like it's bacteria. Yeah, that's what they are basically. They're just bacteria.
Well, actually, more like a virus.
Yeah, yeah.
It's a mind virus.
Yeah, they're spreading the woke mind virus. Yeah, he was making fun of her hair and all sorts of different. That's another one where I might lean that he was making fun of her hairdo, telling her that she needs to go get her hair done instead of being at the Riley Gaines protest. But they even suggested to the people and the cops there, like if they hadn't thought about offing themselves, like they should.
Yeah, that's shady.
Yeah. That's a little out there.
Yeah, but the best part is like, so why the mask? If you believe so much in this, why do you hide your face then?
Yeah.
And if you're afraid you're not breaking any laws and whatnot, and you want to stand up for something you believe, how come you're masking up?
Yeah, I was watching one of Officer Tatum talking to a whole bunch of protesters, and she was wearing a mask, and he's like, the only reason you're wearing this mask if you're not sick right now or worried about dying is because you're trying to hide yourself.
Yeah.
And then they did the immature thing where she just shut up. And
it wasn't even like,
why are you looking at me weird?
Yeah.
It wasn't even a
COVID. You're still there, like,
and when I say mask, it wasn't like COVID mask. It was ski mask.
Oh, sure.
They were like full ski masked up.
Antifa militant. Looking.
Yeah, militant and stuff, trying to cover the entire face.
Yeah,
like
absolute
punks
or
something.
Just punks, man.
Oh, of course.
It's really a shame that there wasn't a garbage man going down the way with a whole bunch of dumpsters in the back and lose control, and where the dumpsters just go final destinationing over there and just happen to nick a couple certain individuals. It's a shame.
Trump got her last American out of Palestine today too. Came back.
Really?
The last American that was over there is out and back home now.
Yeah. These people that are protesting about it, they should trade spot. We shouldn't even get them out. We should take those people that are protesting for Palestine, trade them. Make a trade deal. Hey, Trump, you're all about trade deals. Trade those people, except Trump's too nice. Oh, Trump, man, so mean. No, he's actually too nice. He wouldn't do that deal, even though you all deserve it.
Yeah.
He wouldn't do it because he knows the excruciating, shitty life that you would have, and probably no life after a certain amount of days because all those people were starved to death slowly. No, they didn't just take their food away. They gave them just a little bit so they'd really slowly wither away. Just absolute cruelty. Y'all should try it out over there because those are the people that you're supporting.
Yeah.
Go over there.
But terrorists.
Yeah, go over there, say hi, hey, I support you guys, and then realize they're still going to take you, even though if you say you love them, stick you in that hole and starve you to death.
And beat you and anything and other.
Yeah, they're going to John McCain you, stick you in a cage and poke you with sharp sticks.
Oh my God.
Not cool. Sharp sticks, not cool.
Don't know if you guys know this, but sharp sticks don't feel good when they're poked into you.
I have no idea, but people tell me that being poked with sharp sticks is not good. People also tell me that what is good is Mr. James O'Keefe, because Mr. James O'Keefe done it again.
In disguise.
This one, Mr. Dieter was telling me that, he's doing the regular good marketing guy thing. And so we talked last week of his hype video where he said, pray for me. I'm going dark. I'm worried about, stuff. I'm not suicidal, right? Yeah. So building up hype, is he really that worried? I don't know. He just threw a party and he DJ'd, okay? So, maybe he's not that terrified, okay? He ain't worried about a sniper getting him, but he's got security.
Happens,
Yeah.
I didn't do it to myself.
So what we talked about last week has now been dropped a couple days after last week's show on Wednesday, and they've got a chick who's playing dumb AF because she sounds like, oh, really?
Oh, I've seen that one. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And she's got this guy who I forget whose the name this is, but he's basically Prince Andrew's family, the fixer guy,
the family fixer.
And so let's listen to this story, folks. It's pretty interesting. You know, it is another one of those where, you know, he's telling us something that we already speculated and we felt like we, quote, knew for sure. But this is someone on the inside of the royal family on hidden camera actually saying it here.
He was in the Navy. He was 250 days at sea. He never saw his camera. I was really pissed because he lied to me.
Lied about
Epstein. And then I did a big thing in the Daily Mail saying that I believed Andrew. And then I found out he was lying. I was so pissed. No, that he was underage girls. That's not cool.
John Bryan has been a close confidant to the British royal family for a long time. He worked for Queen Elizabeth II, was, quote, best friends with Princess Diana, and had a long-term intimate relationship with the Duchess of York, Sarah Ferguson. According to Bryan, he practically raised Sarah Ferguson's children, the princesses Beatrice and Eugene. And Bryan said that he maintained a friendship with Ferguson's husband, the Duke of York, Prince Andrew.
Tell me like your story.
So my story, you want me to know my story?
What?
Like I've been so famous at times when I was on the front page of every newspaper on the planet because I was working with the Queen of England.
Okay.
You know, she's Queen Elizabeth.
She a good undercover chick. All right, keep telling me things. I love this chick. Yeah, hold on. Let me spill all the beans.
And playing the dumbest blonde that I can just tell that she's a ditzy blonde. She's playing the perfect character right now. Really? Oh, how? Tell me more.
Oh my gosh.
If I ever was a fixer and I was talking to some chick like this, I'm like, I better keep my mouth shut.
Nothing like
sounds like a setup.
Nothing like a little blonde hair and a little ditz. Get you to spill the beans every time.
Yeah.
All the families, Princess Diana was my best friend. And I met the Duchess of York.
Okay.
That's Prince Andrew's wife. They were separated. And then Sarah and I sort of...
So he
looks like he's on
bloviates here, and where's
He's getting into some good drama there, some good beans about him and Sarah falling in love.
Right, so they kind of like, you know, and then he takes care of the kids while Prince Andrew's all doing his like running away doing.
He said I pretty much
Prince
raised
Andrew
them
stuff.
kids myself. You know?
Yup. And then he brags about getting a big ass property, and then where's the big
Oh yeah,
bombshell
and he's like, maybe I'll
here?
take it at summertime and stuff like that.
Here, where's the bombshell? Where's the bombshell? Okay, here it is.
Okay, boom.
With underage girls.
Was he already involved with like
For other girls. I was so pissed about that. I was really pissed. I was really pissed because he lied to me about
lied about
Epstein. Yeah. No, I knew he saw him, but he lied to me that he was such a close friend. I was so pissed. And then I did a big thing in the Daily Mail saying that I believed Andrew. And then I found out he was lying. I was so pissed. No, that he was underage girls.
Now, our newsroom has some concerns about where this investigation is headed and who may be implicated. But our only motivation in doing these stories is the public's right to know. And if this report and our subsequent reports shine a light into darkness and expose evil, then we are willing to take the risks. At the end of the day, child victims of Jeffrey Epstein need to be protected.
Amen.
And the people involved need to be held accountable by law enforcement
Double amen.
immediately.
James, tell us why there's a Project Veritas and an O'Keefe logo behind him.
Yeah, they were saying that, and they're probably working together. But he used to run that Veritas, and then he started doing his own thing. And O'Keefe, so they probably mixed them both together. But
if you're not familiar, he was extradited from the Veritas by somebody or like a collusionary system, right? Because it's a nonprofit, so there's a board.
Mhm.
So he couldn't just run things the way he wanted, even though he founded Project Veritas, right?
Yeah.
So recently, right before he dropped this big story with the undercover on this, British family fixer guy admitting, like literally for the first time ever, someone like on the inside that Epstein was like, child predator, right? He also alluded to exposing the guy from Project Veritas that led the extradition of him from the company.
And
So I wonder if he got rid of that dude somehow or something, and now they're going to start collabing.
Yeah, or that it's, like the other pictures, all the stuff coming out, it's a little here to tell the future that maybe that's a
Inside,
hint for
man.
something else.
Right.
And that was another thing that he said, I got to come out nice and easy with this. And it's been taking me a while. I've been working on it for a long time. But with the information and the stuff that I've gained, that you should be able to arrest and actually have cases against people with just of what I have of the interest. And that's what it is. He said, I'm not going to come out and let people know because then it'll give them heads up and it'll be against, and they won't be able to build a case. But with everything I have, they'll be able to build a full case at it and actually be able to prosecute people with it. And that's what he hopes would be done.
Amen. We can only
Hope.
Yep.
That would be fantastic.
About time.
So then he actually mentions it here.
Without accountability, our notion of freedom is just an illusion. We're going to be breaking our next stories exclusively at O'KeefeMediaGroup.com. You may see this Project Veritas sign behind me. Stay tuned for next week.
Oh,
drops a little
maybe
hint.
that's next week's
Oh,
is
I don't
Project Veritas related.
I said later this week, they said more little pieces this Wednesday. We'll
Man,
see.
Christmas coming early.
But yeah, dude, takeaway, folks, if you're still talking to somebody that does not believe this giant Epstein conspiracy is a really big deal, folks, share them this one because it's the fixer literally on camera saying that Prince Andrew was bad wording underage, girls and stuff, and like, God bless America, dude.
Well,
cool,
he
man.
just said that Prince Andrew was screwing underage girls. That could totally mean he was just like playing them in chess and then taking their money. Yeah, I'm trying to not say it to flag us that much if we're on YouTube.
Oh yeah, like screwing over F word. Yeah.
He was screwing them over by taking their Pop-Tarts and not letting them have their rations of Pop-Tarts. That's totally the screwing over of the girls that he was actually doing.
It wasn't like predatory.
No sexual acts were done.
Allegedly. Don't sue me, bro. So that's a big story, man. So if somebody is still in the dark, please share this one out, folks. It's over here on X. You can pull it up on James O'Keefe's feed, who should definitely be following on X. If you don't have an X account, make that account, folks. Because gosh darn it, man, what are you doing here if you're not making accounts?
If you're not Xing, what are you doing?
Yeah, what are you doing? I mean, you can show up every week and we'll tell you all about it, but you got to do your part and share these things out too, folks. So when we call you to action, you got to do the action. Like, we were a little bit disconjointed. Dan was a little bit busy during the beginning of the show, but he does want to remind you how you can help us out for free.
That's right, hoes. Share the show.
So don't be a hoe. Share that show, folks. Share it out to someone that you know, friend, family, or foe, but share it out and help us, spreads the good word. If everybody shared it out, we could double the viewership.
It's like Catholicism. You go to the priest, you tell him your sins, and you're then vanquished of your sins. If you are a hoe and you share the show, you are no longer a hoe. Your hoedness is thy forgiven.
You are blessed.
You are removed of the hoage, so you're all good. Either way, you're all right with us, folks, but it's a lot more helpful for the cause, to spread the good word if you share it out, man. But we got another one from Dano here.
Yeah.
See if he remembers what he posted on this one.
Trying to make up for the last week.
Nice. That's what's up, bro.
Post the whole 3. Normally I get 1 a week, so I had to do 3 this week to make up for it.
Add a little intel in there.
I get the only liberal in Texas. And we get to talking, and we're talking about different policy things, and we're talking about civil liberties, and we're talking about rights, and we're talking about responsibility. And at one point I stopped.
Before we get started, if you got that really hard lefty liberal in your life and they just think that they know it all, this is a receipt to pull up. If they're trying to tell you something, this is what puts a leftist dead in his tracks. Not literally like, we don't condone violence, like just like their theory of liberalism dead. It makes zero sense, and he'll explain why.
In the middle of the conversation, I said, I find something really interesting about this. During the course of our conversation, we have both agreed on the problems. We're trying to address poverty. We're trying to address sickness. We're trying to address violence. We've even agreed on a lot of the end states. We want people to be happy, healthy, prosperous, and free. But the difference is that you're a lot more comfortable with violence than I am. Dual PhD college professor was taken aback by that statement. In fact, the way she worded it was you're going to have to explain what you just said. And the first thing I said was, I don't mean any offense. I said, and I know it sounds kind of wild because you're a college professor and I was a Green Beret. I've actually been in a lot of situations where I was very comfortable with violence. You're just comfortable with it against innocent people, and I'm not. And here's what I mean by that. You and I will both see a problem. The dam breaks in Louisiana and it floods and people are suffering. And I see that problem. I think to myself, as a Christian, as an American, as a human being, I have to do something. Let's donate resources. Let's send money. Let's go down. Let's do what we can to go help the people that are suffering, because we have an obligation to our fellow men and women to do that. And I ask you, maybe, would you like to come along? Would you like to donate? Would you like to do something? Maybe you want to write a check. Maybe you want to get on a plane and go down there. But no matter what you say, the option and the choice is yours. And if you choose to do something other than what I am asking for, you get to leave the conversation in peace. So now on the other side, you see a problem within society. And your automatic response is, we need a government program. We need government intervention. And so, Nick, we're going to raise your taxes, or we're going to regulate you, or we're going to set up a statute or a law. What happens if I say no? Do I get to live in peace? You will deprive me of liberty and property, and depending on how much I resist, you will deprive me of a lot more. You'll take away my kids, you'll take away my home. Not because I didn't want to help, but because I didn't want to help the same way you did. How do you square that with the belief that you're a tolerant person? And she looked at me and she said, I've never thought of it that way before. She actually asked me for my card, and we had an email correspondence after that flight. Again,
which, by the way, that's the answer to a lot of people's opinions when I push back on them and hit them with some like overthought logic on a topic, bro.
Yeah, the party of tolerance that isn't tolerant at the end of the day.
Yeah, right.
But it's like, well, I never thought of that. Yeah, you know why? Because it's a programming that you've been programmed into believing, and you've been brainwashed into believing what you believe and thinking it's this all nice, way to be peaceful and loveful and like do it the right way,
It's programming, and then also just some people are simple, man. There's single order thinkers and there's multi-order thinkers, right? So some people just take like headlines for what the frickin' like headline says.
So somebody with an open mind to be able to think on the other side, think about all the different ways it could be had.
Right.
But they start getting stuck in just their own way. No, I was told that this is y'all are mean. Like, oh, yep, there's that. TDS is just like the cherry on the sundae. Like, they built it up in a whole lot of ways before TDS.
Right.
Republicans like guns. They're violent people.
Yeah, no, it's the same thing with the protest. You get all these leftists for Palestine or all this other stuff. They're out here burning people, or like the congressmen or congress ladies and everything. They go protesting with that mayor about that jail, and then they're out here punching cops and this and that. And then when Republicans or whatever, they go protest something, they're nice, quiet, peaceful half the time. No, we're not burning cities up and everything else, but we're the bad ones causing all the trouble. I don't believe so. We're not the ones yelling, screaming in people's faces and throwing people left and right.
Yeah,
that's all the left and all their protests, every single one.
I heard a really good bit in one. I forget exactly which protest it was, but I wasn't even like watching. I think I was driving, so I was listening to the video, and these Antifa people are yelling at these cops, and one of them is just like, "Yeah, I think called him like a fascist pig. Why don't you get a real job?" Says the person that is there probably not having a job in the first place since you are midday at a protest.
That's the reason why we can't get people to turn out, dog. We too busy, like, you know,
we're actually
raising kids.
We're actually contributing to society.
You do know that those protesters, though, they get paid to show up to the protest.
That too. We ain't paying people.
And we ain't paying our protesters.
And that,
when we got people to show up to, you know, Trump concerts and speeches, we don't have to pay our people to show up to the speeches. They come by the masses. When you know,
well, shit, we're actually paying. We're actually paying to go to the Trump.
I had to pay when I went.
And you went to the outside.
I went to no, it was inside.
Oh, okay.
What was it? The Buck Stadium.
Okay.
Yeah, free tickets you get in.
Cool.
But and Kamala's busting them in to come see and watch or to fill it up.
Yeah.
Well,
we seen the cell phone tracking data.
And it's all the same people. That's right.
Yeah, kind of weird, you know, because she called us all Nazis, yet the Nazi SS and Hitler, I believe the SS weren't doing it for free. They were getting paid to show up to all these different places to do things. I'd say it almost sounds like Kamala's a lot more like the Nazi, even though she's calling the other ones the Nazis. Look at that projection, yet once again.
It's almost like she's taking a book out of the fake news, mainstream media. I would say it was a fake campaign.
Her dad is a communist, though. I mean,
yeah, he was teaching Marxism, right?
Yeah,
he's drank way too much of the Kool-Aid.
Oh yeah, she big Kool-Aid. Anything left on this one?
Need you graduate from Kool-Aid into them Tide Pods.
No, Tide Pods.
We do not recommend eating Tide Pods. We are not medical professionals. Anything left on this one, or is that the main point?
I'm pretty sure that's the main point on that one.
Very true. I love stumping the silly, lamestream believers. I think this was like just a weekly, like this week in punk your climate change activist. So there's more ice in Antarctica?
Actually, I did just hear this. There's a big old chunk of ice in Antarctica that just grew.
Right?
Oh, big old chunk. Some big amount. I did hear this.
Gigatons.
And then it even has like climate change. Climate change refers to long term shifts, blah, 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 blah.
Well, if you don't know,
what the openings say?
The planet's overdue for an ice age anyways.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what might start happening.
Well, so the other thing, a lot of our stuff is doom and gloom here, folks. But with the poles shifting, bro, when the poles shift, the planet does shift, right? And it makes Antarctica at like the equator.
Yeah,
and then it would get freezing cold here. But that doesn't make sense because we're not too far from Antarctica.
Got that lean with it, rock.
From Antarctica.
Well, I guess
compared to the equator right now.
Well,
I guess if Antarctica got tilted like that and the Earth was turned, then when you're off axis at the way north, then you could be on the north side.
Sure.
So then it would make sense to get cold.
The guy that has all the science data, allegedly he claims on like how the Earth is going to twist when the poles change or whatever. It would make where we live right now in America like freezing cold, and we would want to go down to like freaking like Florida south, and it would be like Midwest again. So like the whole south of our United States would be like Midwest upper north right now, where it's like 4 seasons or whatever.
And they actually get us snow. Wow.
Yeah. And then like it'd be like Florida in Mexico.
Yeah.
Where it's not like crazy. You have to have hot close to the equator. And I was like, damn, bro. Whenever that happens,
and it'd be like the Canadian North in the Midwest.
You're right.
Yeah. Then we'll be having some extra cold winters.
Right, and then Canada would be like messed up or something.
They just be a chunk of ice.
It's complicated to think about how that would all spin around, but that was what the guy was saying. So this one right here, good friend of the show, Mr. Jimmy Dore, folks. He's a classical liberal, older guy who then did wake up. He also had a few COVID vaccine injuries. So he's a very, good advocate of truthful information. We don't love every single take of his, but he's a good one to recommend to somebody you're trying to help wake up. That's a little bit more of a classical liberal, perhaps a little bit older of a person, because what I love when I recommend things to people is trying to put a little bit of effort into who I recommend. So then it's maybe a little bit more likely to stick. But on the screen here, he's showing from 2002 to 2010, moderate ice loss was at negative 73 to 79 gigatons per year, contributing 0.2 millimeters annually to global sea level. In 2011 to 2020, it was contributing 0.4 millimeters to annual sea level. And currently in 21 to 23, contributing 0.3 millimeters annually to sea level. So the ice is actually growing, man. That's why they had to They had to switch it over to climate change in general.
Yeah, and that's what they said. The Earth's heating up, and they're like, not exactly. It's really not.
Well,
it's
and you were saying that it added 0.3 in 21 to 23. It had the reversal, like we were losing ice up to 2020, and then all of a sudden now we're gaining ice, and then we're actually taking away 0.3 millimeters of that sea level because it's getting converted back into ice.
Interesting. So yeah, sea level go down.
Yeah, which I mean, 0.3. I mean, either way, 0.2, 0.4. So not even a millimeter. Do you guys realize how big a millimeter is?
Oh yeah, I did miss the main point. Yeah, it was ice loss up until 21 to 23. Yeah.
First off,
gained.
A centimeter might start to wet your pinky toe if it wasn't wet the year before.
Right.
And we're not even at half one of those.
Yeah.
There's nothing. There's like minimum next to zero change.
Which, I mean, it's a short
the
period
shorelines are going to get flooded. We're going to have nothing.
I know when they do that, I'm like, yeah, in like what, 500 years? Not saying we shouldn't try to plan technically,
but
somewhat 500 years in the future, but there's a lot of shit that's going to happen in between, bro.
Yeah.
Let's be realistic here.
Yeah, who knows if the plans set for that time
will
totally derail or not also.
Yeah.
That's why you should live in the moment, live day by day.
Another thing, I seen this thing, I don't know how true it was. You guys hear anything about blue rain?
Oh, yeah.
Have you looked anything about that?
Yeah.
What, are
those
they
jelly balls that flop down?
No,
the blue jelly
It
balls?
was down in Texas in a couple places, I think, and they had like turquoisey blue rain.
Are they cloud seeding with methylene blue?
Something weird.
I forget what it is.
And there's one dude tried licking some of it, and it made him trip balls.
Oh
For
man,
a little bit, and he was like doing yard work or something.
What if it's
I just heard this
methylene blue?
yeah. What if instead of chemtrails, they're now meth blue in
And that's what
the
he said,
sky?
it's
That could be okay. Methylene blue is supposed to be good for you.
Whatever that is, that's what I seen today.
Yeah.
And they're like, why? What is up with the water? Yeah, cloud seeding. They said what they're trying to. And I mean, this is.
Have you seen the blue gel balls rain? We covered that one time.
No, I didn't hear this. But this is something. I mean, I just heard. Go up. That was a good one.
These things right here.
No, I don't know nothing about that.
Yeah, they're like falling from the sky. This one
Looks
woman
like
was
blue
doing a
hail.
story on it. Yeah, right.
No, it looks like those jelly beads that you shoot out of a, airsoft gun.
Purple rain.
The gel blasters.
Yeah, the gel blasters.
Purple rain. Yeah.
Prince called it.
So pull up local. Share that that the ice levels are going up to your favorite wham climate change activists.
Yeah. Oh, what's that? Greta. You
Greta Thunberg.
Yeah. Calm down there, Greta. You'll be okay.
He's a little misfit, that Greta.
So President Trump's new Surgeon General pick here, nominee, you would say, of the United States is a Dr. Casey. Is that cut off? Is her last name literally Me?
Casey Me.
Casey Me. I don't know. Tell me what you guys think, but kind of sounds like maybe a good pick again.
That the American healthcare system and our government agencies would be clamoring to fix metabolic health and reduce American suffering and costs. But they're not. They are deafeningly silent about metabolic dysfunction and its known causes.
Who is it?
It's not an overstatement
I
to say that I learned virtually nothing at Stanford Medical School about the tens of thousands of scientific papers that elucidate these root causes of why American health is plummeting and how environmental factors are causing it. For instance, in medical school, I did not learn that for each additional serving of ultra-processed food we eat, early mortality increases by 18%. This now makes up 67% of the foods our kids are eating. I took 0 nutrition courses in medical school. I didn't learn that 82% of independently funded studies show harm from processed food, while 93% of industry-sponsored studies reflect no harm. In medical school, I didn't learn that 95% of the people who created the recent USDA food guidelines for America had significant conflicts of interest with the food industry. I did not learn that 1 billion pounds of synthetic pesticides are being sprayed on our food every single year.
People are getting cancer and everything, and shorter lifespans, and kids are getting autism and everything else. 1 out of 30 kids nowadays have some form of autism. Compared to, our grandparents or even our parents, we're like 1 out of 1,000 or 2,000.
And
nowhere near what it is today.
And both things could be true. It could be just because we're more aware of it and we're tracking it better, or labeling people more nowadays, because we are. But also, dude, it's too big of an increase to be just we're paying attention more. Everybody's freaking
within a generation or 2 generations, it changed dramatically like that. No. What's happening is they started having way more processed foods and stuff like that, and big companies making all these foods.
Red 40.
The Red 40, this bug gut.
The Yellow 5. And it was cut off as Dr. Casey Means, not Casey Me.
Yeah, right? I was like, there's no way her name is Me. We covered these numbers back in April. So RFK just announced the latest autism rates in 8-year-old children. 1 in 36 have autism. 1 in 20 boys have autism, which is probably just being a boy. And then 1 in 12 and a half boys over in good old California.
Whatever you do not go to California and have a boy.
California.
Terrible stat.
I wonder what it is I wonder what it is with the girls. Like why stayed only the boys?
Because girls are perfectly fine.
It's
no matter what.
Oh wait, maybe it's because they couldn't find out if they were because they don't know what a woman is.
Boys.
Whoa, good call.
Yeah,
good call.
Yeah,
could be a breakdown here. So I don't know. This girl sounds like a good pick, bro. Calling out all this, medical stuff right here. I'd say amen, bro.
Yep, send her on the way.
Casey Means. Let's fix it.
I wonder if Means is a meanie. Probably not. She seems like a real nice gal.
We need more meanies, so I'd be okay either way.
Yep.
Yeah, it's all right to bring a little bullying.
We about to be mean to the medical system and jack them up, man.
Oh, yeah,
Trump said today, bro, we ending the profiteering of the medical system.
Yep.
And they're gonna try and drop we're gonna get to that one later, but they're gonna try and drop the prices 90%. That's crazy.
Well, we're just tired of paying for everybody else in the world, and we're going to make the rest of the world pay for it. Pay their fair share.
We got another James O'Keefe, and this one, it's great. But what stinks is it's showing that Pam is having to hold back a little bit. Now, maybe it's, justified.
Which one's Pam? Is she the, oh my God, tell me more?
No.
Our side, Pam Bondi, she's the
Attorney
General lady.
That Pam, okay.
Which I believe is head of the DOJ, right?
Yeah.
So she's on our side, but everyone was getting cranky the last 2 weeks that she arrested Mubs, right? But this one was interesting because James O'Keefe actually had to undercover her and got her on a microphone saying some shit that actually led to her coming out and saying it to the press. So check this one out.
Yesterday, Attorney General of the United States Pam Bondi was at the White House and disclosed what she represented as brand new information in relation to Jeffrey Epstein, the existence of tens of thousands of videos featuring little children.
There are tens of thousands of videos of Epstein with children or child porn.
Now, this is the first time an official has publicly acknowledged that videos of Epstein and his victims exist. What you may not know is just 9 days prior, the Attorney General had a very similar conversation with a total stranger in a restaurant.
Do you know when the Epstein?
He slipped up there. It wasn't a stranger. Because then later he calls her the nanny. So it's like, but I don't know if she was interviewing the nanny. But this is a little bit like, hey, what the hell, Pam? Because she said this 9 days before she came out publicly and said this. So, like, why don't we get officials saying the truth, right?
Epstein files are going to get released?
We hope soon.
Okay. So any dates?
No, you know what it is? There are tons of thousands of videos.
Yeah.
And it's all with little kids. So they have to go through every one.
In the past, officials have spoken about the, quote, mountain of evidence in the Epstein case, but they've never, previous to that moment, acknowledged on the existence of videos of, quote, little kids. Just a few days later, at 2 p.m. on May 1st, our reporter sent the AG's office the text of the recording. We asked why this detail had not been disclosed to the public, but was instead being told to a random stranger at a restaurant. The Attorney General used almost the exact same language as she did with the stranger in the restaurant, language that we shared with her press office.
There are tens of thousands of videos.
Yeah.
And it's all with little kids.
There are tens of thousands of videos of Epstein with children or child porn.
Now, we hesitated to publish this story, but believe, like we did yesterday, that the public has a right to know. And this one raises serious questions. On one hand, why did our country's highest law enforcement official share this information first not with the American people, but with a self-described nanny at brunch? But more importantly, why was this information held back in the first place? Does this show that a government apparatus is still working behind the scenes to protect powerful people involved in the scandal? Based upon the response to our Epstein story yesterday, it's clear that the American people want answers, and they want accountability.
Man, yeah, everybody's been real, Pam Bondi ain't, holding up her end of the deal, isn't really like satisfying what we want. So I mean, I can see why he was hesitant to release it, but yeah, just
needed a little nudge.
Just another
give it a nudge, and here it is.
Yeah, just another piece on showing. I
Out of the bag.
I mean, she's not the worst, I say, but like, can we find somebody better? I don't know.
Well, I wouldn't say, like, again, baby bathwater. It's like, oh, get rid of her for this. But,
Right, yeah.
what they say very often is like, oh, they have to be careful about things. They can't say stuff, blah, blah, blah. But we all, like, want to hear a little bit
And
more.
It's only been a couple months.
Well,
Yeah.
but also, like, somebody should have said this already, dude, like a long-ass effing time ago, right? So, like, God
That's what
bless.
we already know.
And then
but
also,
it's just not out in public. No one officially said it, but
And then-
everybody does know it.
and then also to note about this story, I think, is this is what real journalism is. Journalism was supposed to push on government to get them to come out with truths and stuff like that, right?
Yeah. Force them to.
And then we went away from that, and they just became puppets for government thing, blah blah blah, right?
More like journalists are supposed to be the accountable group.
Yes, the whole thing.
They're supposed to have. They're
Hold
supposed
the
to be
government
accountable
accountable.
for the truth and the information that is out there.
And to push on the narrative that's covering up the thingies of the stories that they are trying to talk
Get
about,
rid of
blah
and
blah blah,
cover up.
right? So I thought this was a great example of James O'Keefe being the real media nowadays, yada yada. The new independent journalist, the citizen journalist, or all these kind of people that are new media, man. That like journalism didn't die; it changed form. Television journalism dead, right? Like newspaper journalism, mostly dead.
They just say what they want people to hear, and that's all it is.
Yep.
No actual real
Facts
Yeah.
and shit.
So it's all just talking heads that are coming down the chain or spewing information from up chain.
So let's check out the Benny Johnson intro, and then Dieter can tell us about this one because I think you were telling me about this
I was
earlier.
telling you
So
about this earlier.
here, let's watch the Benny Johnson, folks. Is Awesome. You got to follow him on YouTube or Rumble. Benny Johnson here with the intros is killer. Oh, this one don't got an intro?
Got Spenny. They say good
Oh,
things.
yeah, he don't got an intro on this one.
Dang.
He just gets
That is.
But
that
yeah,
is
what you
too
were
bad.
telling me, Mr. Dieter, they arrested the Democrat mayor guy?
The Democrat mayor of whatever New Waskey or whatever they call it, somewhere in New Jersey. Him and two other congresswomen were trying to see the inside of this jail place and with a bunch of protesters, and they get physical with the police and the ICE people trying to break in, and they get told to leave the premises multiple times, refuse to leave, and then actually get physical with the cops. And part of these videos here, you can actually see a congresswoman punch and elbow a cop, and part of it. But they arrest that mayor, and they say that mayor is trying to run for governor of New Jersey too. And I mean, sometimes people say any publicity is good publicity, and I'm telling you, I don't think this is a very good look for anybody at all. And then they ended up actually having some Congress people go up in there, and they said, actually, there's nothing really wrong. Everything seems pretty normal in here. And they say that over 75% of the people that are in that jail are been accused or found guilty or pending charges for rape, murder, and other heinous crimes. So everybody that's in there actually belongs in there.
Nobody in there because they sold a couple dime bags of dope.
Oh, actually, there's drug dealers in there too, but the same thing. But they're all illegal.
Well, I guess by dope I
Either
mean,
way.
like cannabis.
No, I'm just saying they're all illegal immigrants.
For some, dope is that syringe
Which
shit.
in its own case is a illegal.
It makes sense though that the person's going for governor of New Jersey acting like that, because New Jersey is just about as
and you have
corrupt
two
as Illinois.
Congress people,
Well, Illinois and New Jersey are always battling it out for top corrupt state.
That's California and New York too, but yeah.
Believe it or not, Illinois and New Jersey got them beat.
I believe we took over New
home
Jersey.
Of the mob. We're the home of the mob.
Right. That's why we're the worst, right? And they all turned politicians.
Yeah.
I believe we actually took over New Jersey now for worst property taxes.
We're also like
Thanks,
number
Pritzker.
4th and for the highest gas tax in America too right now.
That's also thanks to Pritzker.
Well, it's all because everybody left Illinois, dog. So as soon as that happened, I said, "Oh, we're screwed. They're gonna jack the state taxes on us, bro."
Mm-mm.
I mean, they were going to do it regardless.
Bro, I had 4 people this week or last week like balk on the price of like fixing their computer or getting an upgrade because they told me they're got to pay my property taxes and they just went up, and I was like, "Good God."
Yeah, they did. Go up.
Yep, they sure did. I got mine every year consistently. They always go up.
It was like egregious. They made it sound like they were like, "Oh, it went up like
It wasn't no.
I was like, "What?"
It definitely wasn't no like
It was like
inflation slight
thirding or
upgrade.
quartering.
Yeah. No, it was like
But it's
$300 I
definitely
think mine went up
when
or
things
more.
are already hard, you don't need it being even harder. Like mortgage rates, everything, it's all been up, and they're just going up again. But that makes sense because everything else in Illinois totally cheaper, like gas and insurance and healthcare. It's totally all getting cheaper.
And they say that those are some highly crimes that they got going on there. The Democrats.
which one?
That's an actual, or right there, you had it showed up on there. An actual insurrection and trespassing, and they actually are punching cops. And they're not just regular citizens either. These are supposed to be public officials. You got 2 congresswomen and a mayor trying to run for governor right now. Of course.
Well, I guess it makes sense though why they'd be doing that.
No, but you can't.
Normally cops will be abusive because they think they're above the law a lot of the time. Well, these people really think they're above the law, obviously, since they write the law.
They think that now there's somebody that they can do what they want. And no, that's not how this works.
Well, it's the classic rules for me, not
Not for
rules for
thee.
thee, not for me, blah blah blah, Democrat thing, bro.
Yeah,
So
you know,
now they're going over here, breaking in on these.
They're like, we
this
make
ICE
the
raid.
rules. Rules aren't for me. I make them. If you don't agree with it, I'll just make a new
And they
rule.
say that
That's
you're
how
in
they
our
think.
state, so we have rights to see it and oversee it. But actually, protecting and who comes immigration, everything is federally run, not state run. So federal trumps, no
State.
pun intended, state, and we're federal officials, so we tell you what to do. Sorry.
Very true. So the dirty
Lame.
Democrats are at it again, and what's wild is this is actually the officials, and they did actually fully arrest them. I think that's crazy.
No, yeah, and like I said, they always say we're the violent ones, we're the ones spread violence, but look at you guys here. So it's pretty nasty coming for some actual people that are in government and hold high offices.
Right. And
that's not the way you act.
And they
when you're
should get
supposed to
some
be-
accountability.
I'm not surprised. It's from Newark. Yeah, them New Jerseyans from Newark, they're totally outstanding.
But you're supposed to be above and be a fine citizen. You're representing your people, and that's how you act.
I'm surprised they weren't just going through punching people. Hey, I'm walking here. Ah. I'm just from Newark. I'm walking here. Forget about it.
I'm just saying hello.
They talk a little bit more like
And that's
Jasmine Crockett, if you know what I'm saying.
and that's
I'm
Haba
from
arrested them,
Newark.
huh?
Oh yeah, well, Hobbit runs all that, and so she tells them, well, they're getting bad.
As
Go
Trump's
arrest them.
lawyer. Yeah.
No, she's in control of.
That's Trump's like lawyer consultant lady. Elena.
Elena Hobbit. Oh yeah.
Elena Hobbit.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's interesting.
Yeah, that's his official lawyer.
Oh, we got
for the
another
campaign.
Dan post. Hot diggity. He wasn't.
This is a comedic break.
Okay.
More like it's for us Chicagoans that have pride.
Oh, they take it down.
Oh, they better not have.
Is it the Pope with the deep dish pizza, or is he gonna go and?
No, I haven't seen that. There's the Pope with a deep dish.
You see people melted down about someone made Trump as the Pope AI.
Oh yeah.
And then he just
Funny.
reshared it.
Yeah.
So the
My
news
wife thought it was cute.
the news anchor, the news anchor was like, so do you think that was like really like, okay for you to share that from the official like
all the Catholic, all the Catholic. Well, the main thing is
sometimes we need
she
jokes,
spoke
okay, like-
for all Catholics.
for
She
sure.
was like, Catholics are pissed off. Like, who are you speaking for, lady? You ain't the Pope. I bet you're not even Catholic.
It's tricky because it's a little bit like,
No,
hey,
it's funny. Do you not know what funny and the memes are?
Yeah.
Okay, it's a joke.
but you're like, joking
Yeah.
around with like, people's serious religion. So I can understand where they're coming from, but they're gonna make light of things.
It's AI memes, and he didn't make it himself, so
Is the
someone
link
else
just
made it. Okay.
Might be like expired because it was a story on Facebook. Even though I thought I got the
But-
original.
Good enough that he said he's gonna go fix it, folks. We'll come
There was
back
another
around.
one. He's gonna show them how to make the original Chicago Italian beef stew over there in Italy.
Well, people said
he comes from Chicago, so he knows how to. We're gonna make Italian pizza, deep dish pizza now, and we're gonna make Italian beef the Chicago way with peppers on it.
And then people were saying, now when I go to order Italian beef, I'm going to say, hey, make sure it's baptized. Instead of saying dipped.
yeah. Make sure you baptize it for me.
Instead of dipped. I was like, that's comedic. Did you see the interim pick of Trump's here of Judge Janine from Fox?
Oh, I love Judge Janine. She is a tank.
Base.
I mean, she's
pretty badass.
She's a bad bitch.
So
that's what we have to say. She is fun.
Right now, he just put her in as interim U.S. attorney for DC, and she may speed up the whole like swamp certifying the actual pick, who's going to be Ed Martin.
Yeah,
so I guess
they weren't going to certify him.
Right.
So Trump said, "Okay, you want him? I got somebody else."
Yes.
Just as worse, or not even worse.
Yeah, right.
But he has experience of cleaning up New York already and being a very good attorney out there and everything.
Yeah.
And she's gonna clean this DC right up because who wants to live in the Capitol and come see the Capitol when it's terrible and got such a high crime and everything? Trump says, we're going to clean up the streets and we ain't having this crap no more where I live. So bring her in and she's going to arrest all the bad people and clean up the streets.
Hey, bro, I think that was one of those like chess move, business, politics, something smart, because there's a lot of lefties that don't like the misjudged Janine. I also think it's also hilarious that this would be the second Fox News anchor.
Oh, it's not the second. It's like multiple.
There's multiple?
What you got?
No. The second one that's appointed by Trump to be in official office.
There's like 2 or 3.
Okay.
Like
3
or 4.
Who else? I thought it was just Pete Hegseth.
We got Pete Hegseth. There's 2. There's 1 or 2 more.
No way.
I can't remember.
There
right
were
off the top of my
box
head.
anchors?
There were 5. Oh, Dan Bongino.
Well, touche.
Dan,
He wasn't current, but
no,
yeah,
but
yeah,
he
yeah.
was.
He was,
He used
yeah.
to be.
He was.
And
Well, not an anchor. He was just had a show.
no, he had a show.
But sure, that was on Fox. Yeah.
I don't know if there was another one, but you got 3 people that were TV show hosts,
Most deaf.
but are the bosses in their area, at owning libs and everything. So, not that you need to be a TV show because it's not, running a government is a TV show, but they're highly qualified people though.
It was a show during Biden's time.
Yeah, a joke of a show. This is not a joke of a show.
The government. The government was
underneath
was like
Biden
crap
was
show.
a joke of a show. This is not a joke.
For sure. Did you fix it?
Yeah, I put some new posts up there.
Oh, did you just make it a new post?
Yeah.
Okay. Slide.
We can do it later. It don't matter.
I don't know. I feel like we need a comic relief. Right?
Sure.
You posted it twice, or did you post
I was hoping it just put the picture up in the other one. You got to put the sound up.
Oh man, you got the Chief coming on.
Dude, the new Pope is pimping, man.
Heck no.
That's totally really how he came out. That he was totally blasting Chief Keef for real.
Chief Keef, the rapper from Chicago. Yeah, right there. Oh my God, not the Kanye West. Now you're gonna get in trouble here.
Yeah, dude, new Pope is like about it, man.
Yeah.
He about that life.
Yeah, the new Kanye song's tricky because I want to make sure to not type that in my search
say
algorithm.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can't really say it. It's like, that one guy that's a horrible, terrible guy from Germany, and then the word "hail" in front of his name. Yeah, that's the name of the song.
Yeah.
And then that's the chorus
of
the song.
Oh, I love your ballsiness, Kanye. I love it.
And then the album cover is
Kanye. He's all about pushing the buttons.
Is Kanye in a suit that's like the bad suit with the big pointed hat?
Okay, I've seen. I
another
haven't listened to it, but I've seen a little bit of that.
And then like another man that's kind of coming up behind him, like maybe
up?
trying to like become like romantic with him, also wearing the pointed hat suit. And then there's a puppy in the corner that I don't think has the pointed hat on it, but it had like,
dude,
I think it had a cape or a jacket.
I wish I could spend 24 hours with Kanye, dude. He's just at home like, dog, what's the most screwed up thing I could do next?
Right.
Oh, dude, I got it, man. Come on, man. Don't hear this idea. I'm gonna
too many hits of nitrous oxide and other drugs. I guess it's gonna hit your brain a little bit.
Too much
yo,
lean.
Phil, I got a new one to bounce off your dome. How you think this for some new bullshit that's gonna get the people going?
Too much lean, bro. This week in RFK Jr. is crushing the game, folks. So this guy is exposing Congress now, tied to the big pharma, which is pretty wild, folks. And I don't know about you.
He was doing that during his congressional hearing when the Indian lady was trying to come at him. And she takes more farmer money than he ever did.
Right.
So does.
And then Bernie was trying to.
And Bernie Sanders too. You two are the most big hypocritical people I've ever seen because you both take way more money than I ever did, and I just was a lawyer, just doing my lawyer job. I a congressperson taking side money.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Dude, side note to what we were just talking about, Kanye, real quick. Did you see?
Bring it back.
before
I was lagging on my dude. I gotta get this out.
I'll forget it if it goes on later. So Kanye's out there poking buttons. Did you see Andrew Tate on X?
No, I didn't see
this past week.
Nah.
Did you see?
Yeah, I seen him.
I'm now
some people, but I didn't see nothing.
Now
else.
maybe it's because of that Kanye stuff. But yeah, he made a post on X that had one single word. Can you guess what that word might have been? The
C word?
Nope, the N word.
Oh, Lord.
With the hard R. I don't even think there was a period. There might have been a period, or there wasn't. Just the one word, and that was it. Like, dang.
It had to have been a double dog there.
Right? Yeah, they're like, you know what? Kanye's really stirring the people up. I got dared. I wouldn't do this. I can't, back down from a double dog.
Yeah,
So
that's when you give 0 Fs, and you're just like, hey, you ain't gonna do nothing to me, boy.
Not recommended.
I think part of it's just to poke it like, hey man, we're just making fun of everything nowadays, huh? Like, so we're gonna really push the boundaries.
But you try robbing out my purse, you might get called it. So and then I'll become a millionaire.
Not recommended.
But yeah, back to real news.
So back to why do I keep calling him JFK? RFK exposing the connections of the Congress in the big
JFK's
pharma.
predecessor.
Today, over 100 members of Congress support a bill to fund Ozempic with Medicare at $1,500 a month. Most of these members,
which Trump calls the fat shot.
The fat shot.
have,
you haven't heard the story.
He told the story and called it the fat shot.
So if you haven't heard the story,
There's no other name. That's a perfect name for it.
tell
it like it is, like the China virus. This is the fat shot.
Except I've only seen it's only been like 1 or 2 times, but they do have some people that totally. I mean, they're not washboard abs, but they're really not overweight, and they're in the commercial. Like, dude, what are you doing? Like, I could understand the people that are desperate. And they're like, I'm not losing weight fast enough. Like, I can't control my eating urges, or fast because I just get too hungry. Okay, dude, like, you got 10 pounds to lose, and you'd be just fine. You'd be washboard abs, but. Oh, you're that's society, bro. There's such lazy men nowadays. You're like, oh man, dude, like I just got so much going on. I might as well just, give myself some venom, some alleged, what was it, like lizard venom or something like that.
Yeah,
I might as well just stick myself with that because
Who was telling us that? It was like snake lizard venom or something, and the idea is that it literally eats away at the fat cells.
Oh, really?
And I was like, what?
Yeah, that's not the way I'm trying to lose my weight.
I mean, that would make sense. I could see that totally be it. Because if I was a lizard, what would be one thing I wouldn't want to be in the desert? Because what does fat do? We say like, oh man, you got some winter insulation on you. You in the lizards are normally in hot environments. You don't want fat on you, so it would make sense. They have stuff in their bodies to literally just eat that stuff away, because if they get fat, they basically would probably overheat and die.
Well, like, bro, I just don't think I'm ever.
I could definitely see it.
Like, I just don't think I'm ever gonna do something like that, because, like, what's the next one, bro? They make like the tapeworm pill.
I don't know.
Like, we got lizard venom, fat shot.
Well, let's just go to the science, since everybody loves believe the science. The science is it gives you turbo cancer.
Just eat the steaks and you'll be all right.
Yeah, it gives you
carnivore diet. You'll be fine.
Yeah. Instead of giving yourself turbo cancer, instead of turboing your legs up on a treadmill or walking around the block for a month and then just eating a couple fat burning foods, you can still eat. That's the thing. You just have to eat stuff that actually burns the fat, and then all of a sudden you burn the fat and you don't have turbo cancer. Holy shit.
Yeah.
I mean, you could also just do 75 hard. Highly recommended, man. I'm on day 72 right now. And then we got 73. And then 74. Wednesday's my last effing day.
But I guess I can't say it's the worst idea. I guess I can't say it's the worst idea, though. Because if you do get turbo cancer, if you do live, if it doesn't get you, then you probably will be, a frail older person some years down the road watching TV like the boob you were at the time, still are. And they're like, if you use Ozempic, you might be entitled to compensation. Oh, bam, look, you actually made some money. You probably can't enjoy it because your body's now so messed up from the turbo cancer you had to fight. But, I can't hate the game entirely because you're still winning in somewhat.
2 more people today told me that somebody they know got cancer, dog. I swear to God, it's gone up.
From what?
Like, I don't know if I just talked to more people.
Well, yeah.
2 more people I talked to said like, oh, that somebody they know.
Well,
just got cancer.
we're getting slightly microwaved.
Like,
all of our cells are not at ease. Which remember, if y'all have been listening to the show for a long time, you might have seen an episode that we talked about disease. If you break down the word, it's dis-ease. Most all diseases is just inflammation. Your body is just in pain. So then weird, wacky things start happening because your cells aren't happy. They can't replicate like normal. All of a sudden, those cells turn all, you could say Frankenstein-like, and then it's normally cancer because a cancer is an abnormal cell. It's just a cell that's not right. It's mutated. And if something is basically, if you, the ants, if you fry them under the magnifying glass, you're going to be really messing up their structures. They don't look quite the same after. That's what's happening inside your body when you're feeding it bullcrap like that. And what do you expect your cells to do? Just keep popping out normal cells? No, they're starting to pop out those freaking, Silence of the Hells looking like little baby cells. They're like, I'm here to do the work, man.
And then your body tries to attack it, but doesn't win. I also always hear that parasites cause all this disease, which could be true, but I theorize it's all the parasites we have that we think we're magical in the West, like over here in the Western states that like we have no parasites. But I also think it's just our body's trying to fight the parasites, which then allows for the disease because they're starting to cure a lot of shit with ivermectin and fenbendazole and mebendazole. And it's very interesting. So I don't know
with it too.
Right. So I don't know if it's curing the cancer or it's just killing off the bad parasites that are allowing your body to then heal itself.
Do that amazing healing work that it does because the body is crazy with that stuff.
I like mentioning it almost every single show, bro. That dude on X keep posting. They keep solving Alzheimer's and freaking prostate cancer and some breast cancers, I believe, with ivermectin, fenbendazole, and mebendazole. So if you know somebody that's got cancer, dude, and it's like super serious or some shit, start looking at some alternative methods of healing and find these people on the internet. Hit me up and I'll show you the doctor, bro. But
and if you want to go really off the rails and have a hell of a time, you can look up, try to find this guy. He had like stage 4, I believe it was pancreatic cancer, and it was spreading like wildfire in his body. Doctor told him he had like 2 months to live, and he ended up taking some dog dewormers. And he ended up totally curing himself. The doctor, he came back.
So we don't recommend any of this,
He came back, and the doctor was like, "How the hell are you still alive, dude?" He's like, "I took some dog dewormers, man."
Which they're totally probably good. Based on ivermectin.
Right, yeah.
Same type of thing.
Which
parasite killers.
They're anti-parasitic drugs.
I listen to these doctors, and they say like, "Oh yeah, some of them are like, oh, you shouldn't take them." But others are actually just a higher dose than they would normally prescribe a human. And you could take it, but you shouldn't keep taking it. It would be good to like get started on, and then you want to like lower the dose and stuff like that. And I was like, that's wild.
Yeah, because ivermectin comes in all forms and is for all sorts of different beings.
Right.
The popular one's for horses.
And then the chemical's not different. It's still this thing called ivermectin. It's not like, oh, it's slightly different for a horse. Yeah. It is a larger dose. Like it's huge.
Yeah, it's a big old, don't take a horse dose.
But if you're overweight and you have cancer, you might need the horse dose.
Because
we are not medical advisors or professionals. Not medical advice.
Speculators talking shit over here. So not medical advice. Go and talk to your doctor. See a physician. Ask them if ivermectin is right for you. We have no affiliation with ivermectin.
Don't go to your local pet store.
Don't do that.
All of a sudden, we're going to see a news bit. We do have shortages because of the supply chains, and it's just weird though because It's all the ivermectin, all the pet stores is out everywhere. All the antiparasitics. We just can't keep up. There's just all sorts of nobody's watching The Price is Right anymore and spaying and neutering their dogs and cats. They're replicating and just making so many little kitties and puppies with parasites. It just must be going off the shelves.
The super popular show called Truthercast brings up ivermectin, and they all sell out. I heard a crazy one this week, man. Alzheimer's, right? So you guys are familiar with the ketogenic diet? Pretty popular nowadays, right? Yeah. So it's stop eating carbs. It's
ketosis.
Eat natural fats. And when your body releases these things called ketones, you're in the state of ketosis, right? So Alzheimer's study, they have an Alzheimer patient try to draw a clock. It's all squiggly and jacked up. Dude can't even draw a clock. You have no idea what it looks like. You're like, what the hell is that, right? Then they get him in a state of ketosis.
But ketosis is the day of fasting where you haven't ate in like 2 or 3 days.
No, ketosis is when your body releases ketones.
It's just when you're not.
It's generally when you have now intermittent fasted a little bit.
You're not running. You're not running off stored energy, which is carbs or fat.
Well, no. You're still running off fat. It's natural fat instead of carbs.
Oh yeah,
it's the carbs that disallow your body.
Fat actually gets burned first.
It's
which people are don't understand that. They eat fatty food. They're like, oh, it's gonna go straight to my hips. No, actually, the fat of that gets burned first. It's
not
the carbs that go.
Because sugar and carbs will be burned.
Yeah.
So that's why you got to cut those out of your diet so that your body
I thought
then
carbs
burns.
was last.
No. That's the whole point of getting rid of the carbs.
Because carbs get stored.
No, it's the carbs that get burnt first and don't allow your body to do ketosis, is my understanding. So in ketosis, they rerun this study or the test with the Alzheimer patient, draws a clock okay, and you can understand, has numbers, has hands on it. So they do this again, and they give an Alzheimer's patient a task, hey, tie your shoe. Fumbling, bumbling, can't tie his shoe. Get him in a state of ketosis, ties his shoe. And I was like, damn, that's absolutely bonkers.
Yeah. Have you seen the guy that goes back on the timeline on when Alzheimer's started becoming a thing? And to when we switched off, we were at a shortage of animal fats and animal meats. And so margarine became a thing.
Right, bro.
Yeah. So the seed oils.
That's vegetable oil based, right?
Yeah.
No, margarine's just butter, pretty much.
I thought that was the fake butter.
Oh, maybe.
It's fake butter. It's based on vegetable
butter.
Oil. Yeah. Because that's the one where they had the ads. I can't believe it's not butter.
Oh,
yeah.
Like literally, like say,
unless it is butter, it is not butter.
Real butter.
Right. So that's pretty interesting. By the way, if you're in Rockford, you can go to the Cherry Valley store. What is it? I just dropped.
What, the Schnucks?
What's the meat store?
Oh,
Kettle and Cream.
Oh, yeah.
Kettle and Cream over in Cherry Valley. They got Amish butter.
Okay.
Or you can go to Meijer and they have Amish butter on the shelf. Also, Woodman's.
It's not supporting a local business, so why would you even bring that up? So anyway, we got off the topic, but
there we go.
Mr. RFK Jr.'s, fighting the good fight here and exposing the Congress connected to the evil Big Pharma. Big Pharma doesn't support Amish butter.
Oh, no way.
First off, how dare you disrespect Woodman's? They're employee owned.
No, you said Meijer.
Yeah, that's in there too. But
Screw Meijer. I hate Meijer.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
It's way better than Walmart.
It's got to be better than Walmart,
Super
though.
corporate. Oh gosh, no. Yeah, of course.
Okay.
I just like my girl wanted to buy something and she's like, yeah, they got it at Walmart on deal, and I said,
no,
nah, dude, don't make me do that. I haven't been into Walmart in over a year. I'm on a good streak. Haven't had to go into Wally World in over a year. That's a goal of mine.
We don't have a trolley in here today, huh?
Yeah, no trolley today, bro. We wasted him last week, I guess. Okay, so Wilkinson said, true, carbs and sugar first, then fat reserve.
He's busy with Jill.
Okay, interesting. Yes, he's busy with Jill the Hand.
Oh, Rosie.
So another what we voted for, would you say? Because I say that. Wouldn't hurt to see the dollar amount spent on bringing them in and now out. But, we're really sick of our tax money going to pay for, criminal aliens, right? So now Mr. Trump
give you $1,000 and ship you on off out the door.
Signed an executive order to launch the first ever self-deportation program. Let's listen to Crazy Daddy Trump here.
Today, I signed an executive order to launch the first ever self-deportation program for illegal aliens. We are making it as easy as possible for illegal aliens to leave America. Any illegal alien can simply show up at an airport and receive a free flight out of our country. We have also launched a phone app called CBP Home. That's CBP Home, where illegals can book a free flight to any foreign country. As long as it's not here, you can go anywhere you want. We're also adding a very important exit bonus for illegals to further incentivize their self-deportation. This deportation bonus will save American taxpayers billions and billions of dollars. What Biden did to this country can never be explained, will never, ever be accepted. Eventually, when the illegals are gone, it will save us trillions of dollars. However, if illegal aliens choose to remain in America, they're remaining illegally, and they will face severe consequences. Illegal aliens who stay in America face punishments including significant jail time, enormous financial penalties, confiscation of all property, garnishment of all wages, imprisonment and incarceration, and sudden deportation in a place.
Sudden deportation.
That's right.
And manner
So
solely
check yourself
of
out before I have to check you out.
I like how he pitched it like the ending of the bar. Like, you can't. Oh, I don't even remember how it goes.
You ain't got to stay here, but you got to go.
To all illegal aliens, book your free flight right now. We want you out of America, but if you're really good, we're going to try and help you get back in. Thank you.
Amen. If you're really good, we'll help you get back in, bro. What's crazy is I heard that they're giving up to 30 grand.
No, I only $1,000.
30 grand for the bonus that he was referring to.
And
it's crazy that it crazy that it still saves us
It's
money.
like $3,000 for all the plane ticket and shipping them out and everything, and then we'll give you $1,000. Otherwise, for them to do everything else, it might cost $30,000 a piece for them to do it that way.
Screw it. If it's 30 grand, I'm an illegal all of a sudden. I'll ship myself somewhere.
Well,
and I'll get back illegal.
That's what lazy people were saying when they were letting them in and giving them the $5,000 on the EBT and the stamps and stuff.
30K could really I could do.
Somebody tried doing it and they arrested him. I thought that was effed up. Somebody literally tried going into Mexico and then crossing the border illegally, and then they caught him up and were like, "You can't do this." He was like, "But I wanted the free stuff," and they were like, "You're being a hooligan," and they freaking arrested him. And I'm like, "Oh." And they don't arrest the criminal alien. Like,
I'm just following the loopholes, man. Like, don't hate the player, hate the game.
How much are they giving criminal aliens for bonus with
Arte? How much Arte?
New deportation executive order. Let's see if Grot can pull it up here real quick for us.
$1,000 fast. I told you something. What was that? It's $17,000 cheaper. If
straight up, isn't that crazy?
So we're trying to save ourselves some money.
Something court costs and this and that. And
I can't wait to hear the liberals spin and lie on how
he's paying, I was like, that's absurd.
He's paying them money now. Your taxpayer dollars. Blah 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 blah.
And I'm like, they were before and they weren't telling us, you son of a bitch.
Yeah. That's what I can't wait. They're gonna try point the finger, trying to make this look bad.
It drives me bonkers.
They just never.
This hurts, but I understand the finances of it.
It saves us way more money than it's gonna hurt us if they stay here.
And then he literally said it so nobody can lose their shit. Hey, if you're really good, bro, we'll let you back in, dog. All right.
But you hear they're bringing in Africans, the white Africans from Africa are getting
from South Africa.
Are
getting their farms all tore up,
persecuted, and genocided. He said, anyone who wants to come here, well,
wait, what? That can't be true, though. What are you saying? That there's racism in the
Africa? Yeah. Hi.
Wait, no, the main not Africa. There's racism on white people?
Oh, Yeah.
That's what you're saying? What?
Yeah.
No, that's not possible. It's literally impossible. They have white privilege just because of color of their skin. They can't get racified on. What do you mean?
You never knew that was possible, huh? Yeah, it's something new. No,
it's got to be fake.
It's got to be fake news.
They're white. They got white privilege. They just can't be persecuted on. That just totally makes no sense. Ask the Bolsheviks.
Yeah. No, they're gonna try to get them over here.
Okay, it looks like Rumble is having trouble tonight, folks, because Wilkinson said it was freezing up for her.
Cyber attacks.
Up for me.
We're spreading so much truth. We're breaking the servers.
Oh yeah, so my girl did say that she was kind of okay with supporting Walmart because they gave money to Trump, and I said, bro, they were just kissing the ring. I don't think that we should just be like, "Oh, they good."
They've also been
murdered small business. I'm still raw about that one.
Not a fan.
They murdered small business, bro.
I mean, the only thing Walmart's good for is a couple good laughs when you walk around.
I mean, you could
people watch.
You could say again, don't hate the player, hate the game. Like, they just took advantage of the system that was there.
I know capitalism sucks sometimes, man. Especially when they sell to China. Yeah. We get it. Auto pen is legal.
It wouldn't have become such a thing if us Americans weren't taxed so heavy. We'd have more money, and it wouldn't matter about trying to save some bucks.
100%.
That's been the trend of the decades now. Why has it been a trend for decades on saving money? It's not because we're all Jewish.
There we go.
It's because taxes, man. Frickin' taxes stealing all our money. They took our money.
100%. That was another bring it back Dan rant right there. So anyway, F the taxation. So I get it. You can say that auto pen is totally legal and it's totally a thing, but there are now reports that Joe Biden may have not signed physically one document during his 4 years as president. What do you think about that?
Well, we knew he was signing with the auto pen for all the what was it? All the he was letting off and everything, but we didn't know it was every single one. Or maybe he signed one or two, but do you even think he can write his name anymore?
So they're now saying that they are putting together allegedly, like, I mean, this is the video somebody made about just the pardons.
Yeah, that was just the pardon one.
But this dude's saying they're now analyzing all of them, and they're all exactly the same one, like they were all signed with AutoPen.
Pretty much almost everything he did.
They're saying literally
from the beginning.
No, they're saying literally every single one. I'm like, what?
So we had a legitimate president for 4 years.
Well, didn't you see how
being illegitimate in the first place anyway?
Didn't you see how hard he was working? He had no time to make a signature because he was doing so much.
That's why he was so tired.
Yeah, that's why he's sleeping on the beach in the sun. Who can even sleep in the beach on the sun?
That's why he was passing out at the little press tour that he was doing, where he'd be at places.
Can't sign a paper, but he can hold that ice cream cone.
Yeah, he can hold 2 scoops at least. But I think this is absolutely bonkers, folks. I don't even know how I feel about AutoPen, even when somebody would say it makes sense, oh, he can't sign every single thing.
He can. Don't you watch Trump in his office? I've watched him sign so many damn documents.
Yeah.
He went through an entire box of markers.
Trump did use the AutoPen.
That's one day.
He did use the AutoPen allegedly during his first term.
I'm sure here and there.
I mean, when it's a time urgent thing and needs to get signed, and you're on the golf course, what else is one to do?
Go ahead, use the AutoPen. I think there should be some kind of a nuclear code activation.
Use the AutoPen. I'm about to make an eagle. I can't be disturbed right now. Call back later.
There should be some kind of a nuclear level authorization magical. I've now put the thumbprint in the magical key box, and now it allows it to AutoPen though. Because somebody could just use this AutoPen. Allegedly, there is a security feature on it.
I was going to say somebody could steal his fingerprint.
Well, yeah.
Needs to be a dick print.
You took my idea. I'm the one who told you that. I was just about to say that. That's why I speculate in the future.
That's true authenticity.
It will be a dick print, bro, because nobody's going to steal that. Way less likely.
You think maybe that's how the teabagging came a thing? That was a signature.
They're going to get you in the gamer culture, and then they're going to steal your dick print.
That was really an authentic signature.
I just thought it was really.
What happens if it's cold one day and warmer the other day? So
there's going to be some difficulties at first, right?
Because you get the exact hour time.
I just think people are going to leave their phone unlocked a lot more because you're not going to be out at Walmart trying to unlock your phone. You know?
And then what happens if you're a woman?
Well, women don't get to use phones. What are you talking about?
They won't
Take away. No more buying shit. No more posting shit. No more booty shots. Like, you know, like.
I mean, we can't find them or figure out what they are anyways. So.
Well, you could take booty shots and then post them if you like.
Oh, okay.
But you know, the women don't need phones, right?
Often.
I mean, they sit out too long and they get nothing done around the house. That's my problem. That's my problem.
Often taint.
I mean, that could be pretty authenticity.
No, that's a good one.
You can move to toe print, but you know, everyone's gonna need to walk around in flip flops.
Too easily stealable.
Still steal it.
Everybody's on Foot Finder. So some geek is gonna zoom in with the they're gonna take 4K foot pics, and that geek's gonna zoom on in and copy the footprint. Be able to do it that way.
Yeah, all the foot chicks on OnlyFans are going to be screwed. Everyone's unlocking their phone.
Yep. Someone stole my identity through my toes.
Mayday. Well, it's light.
I got to get out of here, boys, here in a second. It's
okay, bet.
10 o'clock.
Most def.
And looks like we got a whole half screen
You just
still to
let
go
us
through.
know. You just let us know. Yeah, I mean, like one of these, I was going to just start like kind of banging through them here.
Speed rounds.
Yeah, good old speed rounder. Like, what was I talking about here? Breaking. Benny Johnson has obtained exclusive ICE officer body cam footage clearly showing the Democrat. Yeah,
That's what
this
I was
is that
talking
one
about
where they
earlier.
were elbowing people and
Go
stuff
here.
like
Let's
that.
see. We'll watch it. Oh yeah, this is what they were talking about. Yeah, that lady right there. She's a congresswoman in the red, and she's physically shoving him.
Yeah, it's very light, but this is like a righty situation.
I'd say it looked more like she was losing her balance with the elbow, but either way.
I think she watched that new Canada Prime Minister video with Mike Myers where they were talking about elbows up, and apparently that's the thing they say in hockey
Elbows
Canadian
up,
land.
side to side.
That's all I thought of.
That's what I thought too.
Yeah, but that is the footage there of that story we were talking about previously. These are the kind of facts that fuel conspiracy theories, folks. Which people are actually running the CDC. Are you ready for this? Which people are running the CDC, folks? Which ones?
The Sasquatches.
Oh, it was suspended.
Well,
okay, long story
that's how
short.
you know it was actually legit.
It was a spicy post.
It was a man at a board hearing, like a city council board hearing, going through the list of all of the CDC officials during COVID, and they all came from the promised land of Israel. Coincidence? I don't know, but they were all the CDC leaders that were pushing for lockdown. So, think of what you will that. But interesting correlation, and
they are everywhere.
Why I said this is what conspiracy theories are made of.
They're into everything, even other than just the money bags.
Well, what I think is shady is they were all about closing down business when they actually had dual citizenship, so it's not like they're very American. And they were like, "Yo, lock down America." Hey, no, thank you.
Screw the Americans and their fake cheese.
Absolutely bullshit. We have a cheese archive.
Oh, I love this one.
That's where the government cheese came from.
I did
back
want
in
to
the
make
day.
sure we got to this one, bro.
Yeah.
They have officially served
her
a subpoena. Like Pam Bondi from the DOJ, bro. And you wouldn't guess what it was for, bro. You just will never guess. Unless you know how hypocritical the Democrats are. Because she was trying to get...
full circle hypocriticism on the exact same thing she was trying to get him for, but she actually has financial fraud for her houses, claiming that she's married to her dad.
Yeah. Just weird stuff, man.
She's got condos that are 5.
No, she's saying they're 4 units, but they're 5 units.
Instead of 5 for better tax bracket areas on our houses.
And the way she did that is she claimed that she had a residency because the loan said she had to be like living in the home. Said she had the residency in Georgia when she is the New York, what is it?
Attorney General.
Yeah, AG. When she's the New York AG, which requires you to have a residency in New York. So which one is it, lady?
Where do you live?
So she's going to get in trouble for that, right?
Yeah.
And then she has 3 mortgages on this one home for upwards to $400,000 when the home was bought for $150,000.
And allegedly,
that don't make no sense.
At least
that much. At least one of these things aren't even recent. Like she did it years
These are
ago.
10, 20 years in the making.
Yeah.
Yep. That's crazy, bro.
Yeah.
So I
mean that sucks to suck. You did it so long ago, you forgot that you did some shady shit, and then you just forget about it, and then you go poking the bear, forgetting that you did that shit. I bet that's how it was. I bet she just totally forgot.
No, she thought she was untouchable, dog. It's these dirty Democrats on me.
No.
God bless.
Well, it's because she got blinded by her. Them thinking they're just the best, most like
no one's gonna look at me.
They're just the saints of the world with what they're doing. Going after mean man Trump. Yeah, they're literally delusional.
Yeah, 100%, bro. I think it's absolutely bonkers.
Oh, this guy right here.
This dude.
No. Play this part. The people love this one.
Directly into my veins.
Yes, my question is for Tush James. Will you apologize to President Trump for wasting millions of dollars and the state of New York for a witch trial? And how does it feel to know that you will be in prison for mortgage fraud?
Thank you for coming.
How come he has to get kicked out? What did he do wrong?
We want to thank him for coming. We respect all opinions. Everybody knows those allegations are baseless.
Her face is like baseless.
You still trying, huh? Everybody knows his allegations are baseless.
Discredited. And so we want to thank him. Our next speaker.
She handled it well, though. Good job.
Yeah,
man.
she just straight lied, as she normally does.
She didn't get like vile or something, so that's good. Well, this was the document, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, principal residence. Yeah. But dude, I hope to goodness that we get a mugshot of this woman.
Oh, we love it.
And Donald Trump puts it right next to his in the White House.
And then he could put tried to make criminal and then real criminal.
Oh, that's going to be great, dude. And then this will not probably be covered by the lamestream news media. So make sure that you keep coming back here, folks. Make sure that you join us over on the Locals community. Or if you're on X, you can follow me at Mastache. If you are a Facebook kind of person, you can find us at the Mastache of Insights. That's a good place if you're a Facebooker. But I don't really post there anymore because it's too much extra time. So just follow me on X or join the Locals and share the show out, folks. You gotta.
That's where I always share the show on Facebook.
Well, I share it on Facebook, yeah, but I just don't make my posts.
Not our show, Andy's show.
Oh, bet. There you go. There you go. That's where.
That's where I make sure the people know I'm not a hoe.
Bet.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is the one that came out today. Cut medical prices by upwards to 90%. Like, we could only hope that RFK Jr. and Trump follow through with this shit.
Well, they're going to try making it part of that brand new big bill. And he said, if the Democrats don't be signing my brand new nice big bill, then they're going to be going against this. And how can you go against this? So it makes it pretty much backs them up against the wall that you guys are going to be signing my bill, helping me get my tax breaks for everybody. Because Dieter here, I work a lot of overtime, and I like not be taxed on my overtime work. Okay,
so what
and
you're
I got a lot of bartending friends that also would like to keep their tips to themselves.
And what you're alluding to is he's putting no tax on tips and no tax on overtime in his really big beautiful bill.
And
I think he's calling it the big beautiful bill.
The big beautiful. No, he is calling it the big beautiful bill.
The triple B. It's a big beautiful bill.
He's gonna add this into it, and the big part of this is that in America, we pay $1,000 for the Ozempic shot, and then his fat friend, who's a billionaire, goes over to the UK and can get the shot for $50. And he says, "What's the deal on that crap?"
Yeah,
he says, "You know what? We're going to be looking into it."
The
And
friends that-
RFK says, "I told my kids, two of my very Democratic kids, and they almost broke down in tears that someone's finally actually going to do something and keep their word and do this, because this has been something that we've been talking about." And Biden said, "Oh, I'm going to make it so they can't price gougers on it." No, we're tired of paying for the rest of the world, because they say, why is America paying so much? It's because, someone needs to pay for investments and growth, and the rest of the world's not. And Trump says, well, it's time to pay your fair share, and we're not paying the entire thing, so everybody gets the same price across the world, or we're not paying for it.
I mean, to be fair, it could make some sense why we got to pay more.
No, it makes 0 sense.
Well, think about it.
It's not my job.
We need a lot more of it because our people are a lot more fat.
Time to hit the diet.
We don't have to pay more per thing, because the guy was saying
for every single.
It was $1,300
drug.
in New York
Oh,
for the
but
same
it's
thing that was $50 over there.
50, yeah, over there.
And it's because we are paying the subsidization of the UK medical system.
What? Not just
I'm just saying. I'm just adding.
Right.
I'm just
The
adding to
entire
the fat jokes.
Right.
Yeah. But you can keep with the AG.
So these are great ones to share,
lady.
folks, to your friends, family, and foes that are trying to
Chris.
say that RFK Jr. is a terrible person. And oh my gosh, him and Trump are so terrible. Yeah, so how about 90% less pricing on medical? Like, bro, that's gonna be
Sounds
crazy.
beautiful to me.
Did you see? Did you see Elon made a
so much
post?
money and for the medical companies, or not the for insurance companies, like the insurance companies won't have to pay as much.
But yeah, they don't care. They probably get a cut on the
Yeah,
large
they cut
money.
in that too. And they said that the hard thing is going to be big pharma, and that the insurance companies will fight this too. So
Yeah, did
we're
you
gonna
see?
try, but we'll see what we can do.
I bet.
Yeah, no, I'm down with it. Hey, look at those numbers right there in that
Godspeed,
corner.
gentlemen.
Look at that number right there in the corner, that green. See all that green?
Oh yeah.
Down. That looks pretty coming up pretty high over there. That stock market's booming today, boys.
Right, and it's because allegedly he signed that, or not allegedly, he
signed-
announced it. Dieter was saying he signed a deal with the UK
5 days ago or whatever.
on
or
Friday.
last Thursday.
And they have a
They got a
deal
trade
set
deal?
with China.
And
No.
then we set the China deal where they pay 30 in and we pay 10 out.
But didn't you hear? This is all because of what This is because Biden's economy.
They're trying to say that
this is what.
Biden went out on
the left-handed media are all saying the Trump's just taking the fame of Biden's economy he set up.
Biden went out on The View and was saying that, bro. Then he started bumbling again.
Yeah,
where
yeah.
Jill had to-
Him on The
had to
View.
hop in.
That was.
Stumbling in.
Yeah.
Hey, I'll finish it for you. No, this is how it actually
Yeah,
was.
dude.
And what
No,
is it?
Joe was great, everyone. He
Yeah.
wasn't he great? Arf.
Carry on there.
Like she
sir.
just said like the general bullshit
Yeah.
to he was
Summing
going
up
off
for him.
rails.
Yeah.
What he's trying to say was he was fantastic. What do you know? The dirty Democrats are getting arrested for more voter fraud. So they've now arrested a judge, an elections, maybe it was an elections judge, and then like a manager and a somebody.
From the
but
Washington Post.
They have now arrested these people for criminal election fraud, bro. And it's almost like we tried to tell everybody.
In Texas.
I learned back in high school that you could get arrested doing this stuff if you didn't obey the laws and you did crap like this, working in the election office.
Yep. That's like you're supposed to have rules and
You're a grown adult. I knew this is a not even graduated high schooler. How can you do that?
Yeah, so they got caught up in a legal vote harvesting scheme. So again, folks, things are looking kind of good here because we're bringing some people to justice, which is pretty awesome. I said bookmark this one for like when you're talking to somebody about COVID injuries, because this medical officer just revealed the COVID vaccine related heart issues skyrocketing in the naval offices. in the naval officers. Myocarditis up 151. Pulmonary heart disease up 62. Ischemic heart disease up 69%. Heart failure increased a whopping 973%.
Yeah.
What?
That thing's making people sick. 100% chance.
I mean,
But
what
it was
else would
it was
be?
totally worth it when you had a 0.1% chance of death.
And 0.01 globally.
Yeah.
That's ridiculous.
Nothing.
That's ridiculous, man. So that's a good one to share there, folks. Find it in the
That's
locals.mass.
like taking the vaccine off girl math.
Just in case you missed it, Trump will be not taking his salary and donating it instead again.
Again?
I think.
But I thought he was only about the money.
Yeah, did he say he's donating it back to America, or like
Yeah,
just like letting them
puts
keep
it back in or something.
right?
Yeah.
Because they called it donating, but I thought it was.
I feel like he always finds like a certain charity that he likes.
Is that what it is? This right here is a let's go for me, man. President Trump just ordered. Oh, we missed the G, darn it. President Trump has just ordered the immediate release of all FBI files related to Crossfire Hurricane, bro. The infamous Russia collusion investigation. If you're not familiar, folks, I hope to God this goes huge, dog, and people hear about this shit. If you're not familiar, Crossfire Hurricane was literally the Obama administration
And Hillary Clinton investigating Trump illegally.
I got it. So Hillary Clinton, right? She was the attorney general. She comes to Obama, the president, and they started Crossfire Hurricane, an FBI investigation to look into Donald Trump, and they wiretapped him as a presidential campaign runner. And then after he became an elected president, and they illegally wiretapped him, folks, to which then that's when Steele dossier comes out, because Clinton actually used illegally campaign funds to pay Mr. Steele, the lawyer man, to go into the FBI with the fake documentation that he made up with absolute fraud and complete lies and everything. He's now going to get these files released, bro. This is huge to me, man. This one drives me bonkers.
And once they're released, he better sue for defamation.
Bruh. And them raiding Mar-a-Lago, bro, because I think they tried to my estimation is they tried to raid Mar-a-Lago to find Crossfire Hurricane documentation that he kept. I think they were trying to cover their ass.
That or plant.
It better be coming out now.
Bruh. So I hope to goodness that one grows.
You know, Cash Patel better be investigating.
Yeah, no tax on tips and overtime.
Yep,
We
yep.
covered that. I'd say criminal aliens should probably be removed just as willy-nilly as they were allowed to come in during the
100%.
Communist Manifesto checklist that was the Biden
They
administration.
ain't got a visa to be here. Goodbye.
And everybody crying about
you
it.
Visa, you gotta go home too. Goodbye.
So we're this is like the last one, I think. But he is now using the word invaded, which is setting up the legal chess pieces to temporarily turn off habeas corpus, which was done before. And it's like one of the rules is that it has to be an invasion. So if he
it definitely
declares
was an invasion, 100% an invasion.
So if he declares this an invasion, he could temporarily pause habeas corpus, and we can just start rounding up people and kicking them out. They're gonna call him a dictator, folks, but I think it's all pretty legitimate.
Well, that's the
You're not
only.
a citizen, then goodbye.
It's the only way to do it at the speed fast
you need
enough
to.
to get them out as fast as they came in.
That's what I think, man.
Well, also, all those people are crying because, he deported at the speed he's going. He ain't even going to reach Obama's number that he deported. He deported 2.3
last year,
or so. It was over 2 million people. Everybody else is deported. Clinton era, Bill, he deported a bunch. Bush deported a bunch. Even Biden deported a bunch.
And then also, I thought it was interesting to note that he is now citing 21 million criminal aliens. Remember when the news was trying to say it was like 5 and 10?
Yeah.
We
No,
were
no,
saying
no.
it's upwards to
It's
20
like
to 30
15
million.
20. Yeah.
Bro, if it's
maybe it's 30.
let's just round up and say it's 30 because there's like a bunch of off the books no one knew about them, right? That's like almost what is it? 1% of the whole population? That's crazy. No, 10%. That's almost 10% of the effing like population of America. That's
Oh,
wacko.
Of
Because it's like 350 million,
voter
right?
pool.
Yeah.
No, just
you're
the
talking
whole
about
like
those three.
350 million that are in America, right? 10% would be 35,000. So like, bro, that's like 8%. 7% of the entire population of America they just let come into the border illegally. That's crazy.
Just pour in.
That's crazy.
Not 35,000. 10%.
Okay, right? Yeah, so it'd only be like 1%.
Well, there's what 300.
I'm trying to think what 10.
But you're talking 30 million. So it's
If it's 350 million.
10%
Yeah, bro,
would be
it'd be
3.5 million.
Yeah, okay, nah, I'm tripping.
3%.
It's like 0.1%. Yeah, no, million is a way bigger number.
I think 350,000 would be 1%. And so yeah.
Right. Well,
35,000 would 35,000 would then be
It's still
0.1.
like 3 million. If you put the commas in the right place. Yeah. Yeah, no, it'd be million. It'd still be 3.5 million. If it was 1%. So it's way less than 1%, so I was tripping.
Yeah, it's less than 1%, but still, it's a ton of people.
Ton of people.
Yeah, go back.
When most swing states are won by 20,000 or so.
So Barack is known as the deporter in chief because he deported 5.3 million. Trump is only at 1.5. Joe Biden allegedly deported 4.4 million. What?
Yeah, we don't know about
Don't-
yeah, that's physically
believe
impossible.
that.
That's physically impossible because he imported 30 million. Well, maybe if he imported 30 million, he kicked out 4 million.
What do you mean import?
Well, he imported them. He flew them in on planes that we paid for with our tax money.
Are you talking about during these last years?
Yeah, Biden did. We were actually ended up
Said
flying them
Biden.
in. Lyndon B. Johnson, 1.2 million. Richard Nixon, 1.5 million. Ford, 700,000. Jimmy Carter, 800,000. Reagan was 8 million, so he's the guy to beat. No, Clinton was 12 million. Damn.
Rock 5 million.
Yeah, George Bush was 10.3 million. Wow.
Gotta send them packing, boys.
Yeah, they're claiming Joe Biden was
Clinton was
1.1
12 million. Right there.
Okay,
So-
so this number is different than the first one I gave
Yeah,
you. That's
so-
where you can't listen to AI entirely. So always take AI with a grain of salt, folks.
Anything you see on the internet with a grain of salt.
Grain of salt, folks. Anything anyone tells you in person, grain of salt. Yeah, that's all I got for you, folks.
Good Jesus.
That's all I got for you. Mr. Dieter's going to turn into a pumpkin, so we'll wrap it up.
Okay.
Thanks for hanging out with us today, folks. If you got some fun facts there for us, make sure to drop those in that comment box down below if you're watching this on the replay. Make sure to come hang out with us in the locals.massdash.com community. Link in that description box down below. Didn't plug the sponsor at the beginning, but if you held in this long, man, and you dig the show and you don't have a like-minded tech guy, maybe you should check out that signup.toleratetech.com link down below. I'd love to help you out with your computer and other tech needs. So go check that out and, get a special little welcome discount, Other than that, folks, I think that's all I got. Anything from you, gentlemen? Sign off?
No, signing off here. And hope you guys enjoy the show. Another great week. Plenty of hot, spicy news coming this week later.
Yeah, we'll fill you in next week, folks. So stay tuned because we got a 3. We got a 2. We got a 1.
1.
Yeah, we got a all right.
Uh.